Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've just finished watching Masters of the Universe and you're wondering whether it's worth sticking around after the credits roll, you're definitely not alone. In the age of superhero movies and franchise-building blockbusters, post-credits scenes have become almost as important as the ending itself. And with a massive universe like He-Man's finally making its return to the big screen, fans are eager to know if there are any hidden surprises waiting after the credits. The good news is that yes, Masters of the Universe does have post-credits content. And it's not just a throwaway joke. The film includes several important teases that could shape the future of the franchise. From the introduction of a beloved character that fans have been waiting decades to see in live action, to hints that one of Eternia's greatest villains may not be gone for good. There's plenty to unpack. In this video, we're breaking down every post-credits scene, explaining what each one means, and discussing how they could set up a potential sequel. We'll talk about the surprise appearance of She-Ra, what Evil Lynn's final scene means for Skeletor's future, and whether Amazon MGM is already laying the groundwork for a larger Masters of the Universe cinematic universe. So if you missed the credits scenes, or if you're trying to figure out what those final moments really mean for He-Man, Eternia, and the future of the franchise, you've come to the right place. Let's dive in and break down everything hidden after the credits of Masters of the Universe. The 1980s come back to cinemas on June 5th with the release of Masters of the Universe. There's probably a lot you forgot about the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon, but luckily the new film is an adaptation for everyone. It helps to be familiar with certain aspects of the lore, but even if you're completely new to the franchise, you'll be able to follow along with the epic adventure and leave the theater wanting more. Critics have largely praised Masters of the Universe, and those positive reviews could help the film become a box office success and pave the way for a sequel. The movie certainly has its future on its mind, which is why fans may be wondering whether they should stay in their seats once the story ends. The answer is yes. Masters of the Universe features 3 post-credit scenes. The first appears immediately after the closing title card, making it impossible to miss. The second arrives during the middle of the credits, while the third and final scene is saved for the very end. If you want to catch every tease for the future of Eternia, you'll want to stay until the last credit rolls. More stories are out there for a potential Masters of the Universe. 2. Without diving into major spoilers, all 3 post-credit scenes clearly set up future storylines that could be explored in a sequel. The world of Eternia is filled with iconic heroes, villains, and creatures, and the 2026 film only scratches the surface of what's available from the franchise's rich history. Director Travis Knight has already revealed one classic character he wishes he could have included in the movie, Merman. The amphibious warrior is one of Skeletor's most recognizable henchmen from the original toy line and animated series. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough room in the story to properly introduce him. However, Knight confirmed that eagle-eyed fans can still spot references to the character hidden within the film's background details. According to the director, several characters who didn't make the final cut are quietly acknowledged throughout the movie as fun Easter eggs for longtime fans. Merman isn't the only notable omission. Many beloved characters from the classic He-Man toy line are absent from this first adventure, leaving plenty of material available for future installments. Combined with the sequel teases found in the post-credits scenes, it's clear that Knight and the creative team have already been thinking about how they could expand the universe, if given the opportunity. At the same time, Knight understands that a sequel isn't guaranteed. While he's enthusiastic about telling more stories in Eternia, he has acknowledged that the future of the franchise ultimately depends on audience support. If viewers embrace the film and demand more adventures, the door is wide open for additional movies. If not, the 2026 film was designed to function as a complete story on its own. After seeing the post-credit scenes, many fans will likely be eager to return to Eternia and discover what happens next. Between the introduction of She-Ra, the tease of Skeletor's return, and the possibility of bringing more classic characters into live action, there's no shortage of directions a sequel could take. For now, the future of Masters of the Universe rests in the hands of moviegoers and whether they show up to support He-Man's latest adventure. She-Ra's inclusion in the sequel would be a smart move. Her appearance in the Masters of the Universe post-credits scene shouldn't come as a surprise, especially since director Travis Knight previously hinted at her importance to the franchise's future. Knight has stated that She-Ra has always been a major part of the Masters of the Universe mythology and an important figure in Adam's story. He also suggested that if the opportunity arises to tell more stories in this universe, She-Ra would play a significant role moving forward. The character already has a strong track record with modern audiences. Netflix's She-Ra and the Princesses of Power became a major success, running for 5 seasons and earning widespread critical acclaim. Beyond that, She-Ra remains one of the most recognizable characters to emerge from the original 80s toy line, giving her a level of mainstream appeal that extends beyond longtime He-Man fans. Even so, launching a live-action She-Ra project immediately would be a risky move. While Amazon reportedly explored a live-action She-Ra series in the past, introducing the character through a Masters of the Universe sequel is a much safer strategy. It allows audiences to become familiar with Princess Adora and see how she fits into the larger world before asking viewers to support a standalone project. This approach also gives the studio an opportunity to evaluate audience reactions to both the character and the actress cast in the role. If She-Ra becomes a fan favorite in the sequel, it would create a much stronger foundation for a future spin-off movie or television series. Ultimately, the post-credits tease feels less like a random sequel setup and more like a carefully planned next step for the franchise. If audiences embrace She-Ra's live-action debut, she could become one of the most important figures in the future of the Masters of the universe, opening the door to entirely new stories beyond He-Man's adventures. And there you have it. Everything you need to know about the Masters of the Universe post-credits scenes and why She-Ra could be the key to the franchise's future. While He-Man's story reaches a satisfying conclusion, it's clear the filmmakers are already planting seeds for bigger adventures, new heroes, and even greater threats waiting beyond Eternia's horizon. The biggest question now is whether audiences will embrace this new version of Masters of the Universe enough to make those plans a reality. With She-Ra teased, Skeletor's return heavily implied, and plenty of classic characters still waiting to make their live-action debut, there's certainly no shortage of stories left to tell. But what do you think? Are you excited to see She-Ra join the franchise? Do you want a sequel centered on Adam and Adora? Or would you rather see Skeletor return as the main villain once again? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss future movie reviews, ending explained videos, post-credit breakdowns, and all the latest entertainment news. Thanks for watching, and until next time, by the power of Grayskull.